If I may, would like to resume the session. Well, then this is going to truly in our last session, closing session, day 2. We started this event since yesterday. Well, we do represent the Jane, and this is the last session of the New Economic Summit. Yes, we had a the opening 2 days ago, and yesterday we had the day 1, and we have an honor having the Prime Minister Abe joining us, and truly his message encouraged us quite dramatically, and also we had Stanford and the Silicon Valley, and that was our last discussion and session we have had. Actually, I was able to participate in a whole program, except for just one program. I think we are able to actually meet with the big expectations we had. And if I'd like to ask each the participant to share your the observations and the feedbacks, please. Fujita-san, please. My name is Fujita, CyberAgent. But this year's the new the economy summit. Well, the Jane believes in the entrepreneurship and globalization, and particularly in entrepreneurship and Japanese the startups. And actually, we wanted to actually put emphasis on the Japanese startups and Japanese ventures, and we had a pitching event. And actually, I served as a moderator in Japan Venture Awards the session. I am glad to be given this opportunity. And for the past 2 days, particularly in the session I was in charge, I think the modern time is giving us lots of opportunities for the Japanese and entrepreneurs. We had the Prime Minister joining us and gave us the hot message. And also, for the first time in Japanese history, the Cabinet Office actually decided to offer the Japan Venture Award. And it's been said that the entrepreneurs are not being highly praised, and there's a tendency that the Japanese people actually criticizing them. However, that has been criticized as one of the serious challenges. But again, we are having the changes. My name is Funatsu from transcosmos. Well, first one, I'd like to thank you, for your kind patience. Actually, we are almost reaching 8 p.m. Thank you indeed for your precious time. That said, I actually, fellow future is the slogan actually coming from the Jane. I love this tagline, and also the sea around the corner. And actually, kind of difficult for to see through things clearly, and then with a certain horizon ahead of us. But day 1, day 2, I'm so happy being able to participate in this event. And fellow future, actually, the hello future, I think is the same for every one of us. But the sea around the corner, I think each person had his own the vision or her own vision. I think this impressed me mostly out of this Jane gathering on an event. There seems to be so many different angles, so many different visions. But that said, I think we have to keep an eye on innovation as hardly as possible, because we have to keep up with the changes in the modern time. And we have to make an extra efforts. And out of these efforts, and I think we like to be united to create something common. We do represent Jane, and I do hope that you will join us and Jane, Japan Association of the New Economy. And Mr. Kobayashi and Isaac, the director, and John Hardin, and actually I served as a moderator in this morning's session. And this is what I said back then when we talk about the Hello Future. Actually, I was so happy. Isaac there's 7 children actually. Actually, I wanted to receive the questions from those people. Actually, I did not ask them to show their hand and asking questions. But I think that reminds me of this the slogan we had this year's event, and Hello Future, because it's very important for us to have those younger people they moving toward the future in the years and the Hello Future. Hirai-san, please, next. Actually, my name is Yasufumi Hirai, and I'm serving as the advisor of Jane. Thank you indeed for your time for the past 2 days. Actually, last year I also participated in the student event, and Europe and Asia. Actually, we looked into those new immersion geos. But as for this year goes, well, I participated in all the sessions. I think there has been a variety of contents. I believe we're able to offer quite exciting contents to you. As you may notice this, women's activities and diversity and the work style change, and also robotics, and also the revitalizations of the local cities, as well as the healthcare. In July last year, we had revised the strategy for Japan to revitalize Japanese power. Actually, there are 10 important points. I think in this, our message has been that we have to actually generate things out of Japan. Of course, I participated in yesterday's pitch event, and I was so impressed. I was so motivated, and there was the excellent time, the time management. Actually, not on the order of the seconds, but also I would say that there has been advancements going on the order of the minutes. I'm sure that you have received lots of the items, the information, and you write them down. But I think you have to become, including me, we have to become the change agent. I think we have to be able to produce the action plan. That's all for me. I'd like to thank you for your kind patience till the last minute. And Mr. Inoue, please. Well, I'm sure that you're full of things you have learned, and just like me. And that said, those people who are on the stage, I think, gave us clearly defined visions. I think we're able to sense the passion from all these the panelists and the speakers. So I think that is going to be quite the most important point as far as entrepreneurship goes. This is my the observation, and also former the ambassador to Japan from the USA, Ambassador Roos, said that Japan should praise a lot more the entrepreneurship here in Japan. I think that the message was quite important. I think at stake is the entire life. In 24 hours in a day, and innovation should be a very important the driver we need to have out of the passion. But it's not the case that all the battles are going to be successful, and some of the battles are going to fail. But at stake is their lives. I think we ought to fully understand at this point, and we have to start praising these people. And Jane, actually, as the time goes on, I think we are getting our power. 5 years ago and 10 years ago, compared with those years, well, be it Silicon Valley and be it in other advanced countries, compared with those geos and ecosystem, I think we are catching up, and we are not necessarily inferior, so to speak. We are here, entrepreneurs, innovators, and are here to try to change society. I think collaborative and joint efforts will be quite important. So this Jane organization, I think, is attracting lots of power with this point in mind. So going forward, I do hope that Jane will further thrive and grow as time goes on. And I personally believe in this potential. And if you like to join us, please think about it seriously. Sounds like we're having the pitch event and to encourage the people to join us. My name is Ishida, and I'm serving as the auditor of Jane. Actually, my background is the computer scientist. And actually, if I'd like to wrap up my observations and from the technical perspectives, IoT, robotics, and also the EC or e-government, EC, and also the IPS, the cells. Well, there's so many items, and we looked into it. I think there are opportunities. At the same time, the other side, I think there are securities, how these things can be addressed. And so we talked about smart. We talked about the needs for the smart regulation. In other words, going forward, I think of course we have to explore something new, and this is going to be new and pioneer, and how regulations can be well defined, and with all these changes coming up, I think that is going to be one of the important foundations to have the strong innovation going forward. Well, we're talking about the Hello Future and representing Jane, and we do represent an economic and association believing in the future years. I think we're here to make our contributions, and as time goes on. Well, talking about future years. Well, actually, more so the law, Intel. Actually, the innovation actually is accelerating its speed. Actually, 2x in 2 years. In other words, 100x in 10 years. That's the kind of pace we have to fully understand. In other words, there is going to be a paradigm shift. I think once every 2 years, actually, things are going to go up in 2x. This is not a paradigm shift. In other words, it took 100 years in the 20th century, but in the 21st century, actually, speed is going to accelerate in 5x. And if we're going to do the same thing and moving in, actually, within the 21st century, actually, what we're going to have 20,000 years of things. So things are going to get accelerated. I think we have to keep this one in mind. We have a tendency to look at the current speed. Based upon that, we try to predict in the future years what will be our future. However, that is wrong. I think from the technological perspectives, Arthur C. Clarke, I think he wrote in the Odyssey in 2001, and actually when the things are moving, actually, it's difficult for us to differentiate between the reality and the magic. I do hope that you take time to look into some of the wonders of the technological the potential. I think that's the kind of thing that we would like to go forward.
And there was mention about IPS cells. In talking with Professor Yamanaka, IPS cells development and discovery really was fueled by internet as well, and by adding 4 genes, it will go back to the stem cell, and getting the 4 cells out of 20,000 cells was very difficult, and that really needed the help of the information available on the internet, and that was exactly what the Professor Yamanaka succeeded. And we are about to have the internet big bang, and it's not simple change of the media or content. It's more than that, and seems to be that's one of the themes of the NES. I'd like to ask Mr. Kanemaru. Thank you. I'm with the Future Architect, and our company name is Future Architect. So in the Hello Future is very close to our company name. It seems like I feel like our company is being advertised all over during this session. Now, in the we are providing B2B service, and recently, for example, there was a joint venture between Sagawa and the Lawson convenience store, and so Sagawa Korea and Lawson's convenience system share the same real-time architecture our company provide. So we kind of work with companies in the backstage. I myself, having worked for a company for many years without having any capital fund on my own, I put the apartment I was living in as a collateral and started my own company back then. So that was a big decision. And I hope that through this seminar this time, I don't know whether you felt that the entrepreneurs on the stage were far-fetched from yourself or very close to yourself. And that may be the big deciding point. And the people in the house might have felt that you share a lot of commonality. For example, solving the issues you may have with the house, so it's kind of changing the platform. And Airbnb and women, it's something idea, no, not that far-fetched, but it is not easy to actually act on. And as people have been saying, that every year, young people included, and real businessmen included, I think our environment increasingly becoming more conducive for entrepreneurs, and the technologies are really advancing by leaps and bounds. So not the leading companies do not have advantage. So I think you all have the opportunities, and some small ideas may trigger, and really you put the goal on those ideas in the future. And I also want to thank you very much for joining us for the last 2 days until this late hours today. And because of your support that we were able to put on this kind of activities. And in my role, I conducted a number of interviews, and also learned that there's a lot of changes taking place in Japan and in Tokyo, and really impressed by the capability of Japan once again. And once again, Silicon Valley in the earlier session was driven by the strength of these people. And living in Silicon Valley, I'm often encouraged and by number of companies, and it's really they all start from a very simple Uber. Is started not because of a special idea. It's coming from a very basic desire to communicate or talk with people, such as Lyft is the same way, and Airbnb is the same way, and just like talking to the taxi drivers, I found out that that's where all these great ideas came from. And in Japan, I'm sure there are regulatory environments becoming has been identified as issues, but we also heard today that the very let's get into the gray zone, and I think we're all shocked. Is it okay to really try it out? And it's all recorded, those statements. So if we find ourselves in question, let's take a look at that video again. And I know we are running out of time and it's getting late. And I think we had a very rich program this year for this NES. And for next year, what kind of suggestions, ideas you may have, or any message to the people who really stayed with us till this hours. Okay, this is the third year we have NES, New Economy Summit. And I think this year we had a great success. And we sold many tickets, and also we had a huge crowd joining us. And when we had this NES first year, I think it was a good success. Second year, we tried to expand over the 2 days and with many notable people. And we were really excited at the board of directors meeting. And board are all ventures, representing ventures. And the second year, however, it wasn't all that great. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as successful as we expected. And somebody has to, we felt that apply a blank. So I said, maybe we can go back to one-day event. But it turned out this event, including myself, I think we really enhanced our understanding, awareness of entrepreneurship and globalization, and also how impactful this event can be to society. and the people who gathered here. And what we're going to do next year, we haven't decided yet. Is yet to be decided. But I hope you will also join us next year, though. Okay, next, please. Yes. Some people came to me and talked to me, and this being the third year, and many people said this is a huge improvement. And first year and second year, and I think we were too ambitious, and that's what was pointed out. And it may be because how Mr. Mikitani is relaxed, and that's maybe giving us the good influence. But I think we are growing steadily. And for the next year, I have 2 points. And I think I share this feeling with the people in the audience. For example, we should manage the time better, and we should maybe we try to do too many things in the schedule of 2 days, and that's one thing I think we can improve on. And another thing is that while yesterday's program was really good, and well, maybe we should have a party after this on the second day. We don't have party today, right? Well, we ran out of budget funding. So, well, we have many people staying with us this late, and we hope we can do more networking. And I think that may be a good idea for next year. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Okay, I may be repeating myself somewhat, but this time, board of directors and also the executive members worked hard and together to put this event. And next year, I hope we can reflect your voices to our plan. And for that purpose, I'm the chairman of the membership committee for Jane, and you'll find this brochure for membership. And I hope we can get many more entrepreneurs as new members so that you can work with us in this creative venture of this event and also our policies as well. And we hope we can put together this NES next year. So I hope you will apply for your membership. Thank you. That's all. Okay, Mr. Inoue, please. I would like to say that I function as a moderator for sharing economy. That I have Homes real estate portal site, and working with the help of Mr. Kanemaru, who is over there, we're trying to encourage the MLET to deregulate some of the procedures required. And right now, that the pre-transaction briefing has to be face-to-face. And we have tried to get the permission to have a online-based, non-face-to-face based briefing before the transaction for real estate transactions. And I think we are achieving that more or less. And in the new economy session and Professor Fukuda, we are all trying many things. And gray zone, let's go for it. And there was very encouraging statement made. And to back it up, I think next year we may have a gray zone award. Maybe people who worked in that gray zone should be recognized. That may be an interesting idea, I thought. And also, we had a very intense program for the last 2 days, or if we have the event, that's 2 years and a half. I think we can introduce some entertainment element in the course of this program. Maybe some traditional Japanese art or something. I think entrepreneurs, we tend to talk about the business, but maybe we can also enjoy together something else as well. That's what I felt. And thank you very much once again for staying with us for the last 2 days.
Yes. Just like other people, actually, I fully enjoyed myself, and actually, sitting at the audience side, I think my brain, now is filled up with so many interesting, the creative ideas. And actually, I'm learning a lot and out of these summit meetings and for the past 3 years. Year one, of course, we are listed and B2B in the business, of course. Our background, our expertise goes to the fabrication and manufacturing, and I think when I think I was kind of satisfied. However, younger entrepreneurs actually are now involved in quite exciting products and coming from outside of Japan. I thought I had missed all these important opportunities, and that is when I thought I was great myself and to create something new in service offerings. And I thought just listing my company, and I think that would be the ultimate goal. However, I was wrong. So, for example, the smartphone is the market that we entered ahead of than other people. And now this the marketplace, I think, is getting lots of attractions. I think we should be able to offer lots of alternatives. And the second year, and what are the more specific schemes and ideas? And that's what I was thinking about. And now, I like to put more emphasis on manufacturing and fabrication. Actually, I have become the chairman and living the position of the president, CEO. So I think I was given this important awareness, as Mr. Hirai said. I think an action, implementation, I think it is going to be quite important. Can't agree more. I think learning, awareness, I think is going to help us to change the way we act. Just learning things itself is not going to be good enough. I think we have to take an action out of the learning and awareness. I think we are now sharing the enthusiasm right now, and I think out of this enthusiasm, I think we have to move into the next step in terms of implementation. Thank you again for your kind collaboration and patience for the past 2.5 days. Mr. Kanemaru, please. Yes, within Jane, I think me and Mikitani actually have been participating in the government-led meetings. And as far as my responsibility goes, actually, deregulation actually has been the mission given to me. And Prime Minister Abe actually was kind enough and joined us. Actually, he made reference to my name and Mikitani-san's name. Actually, there is going to be the revolution going on in the Japanese cooperative and active organizations. I think he wanted to actually, I think he owes something to us in there. And that is when he wanted to come and say something to us. I'm so grateful for his time and the message. And that's it. I think Japan is now, of course, having a long tradition and values. But nowadays, I think I'm enjoying the good discussion with the top the bureaucrats in our customer circuit. I think I am exposing myself to those people. Out of this the encounter and the relationship, usually enterprises and really the big names actually could be the one main stream. But there is another side. For example, those in the legal, the law, the legal professional, and then tax and examinations and others. And you may believe that, and they are the elite. But yes, they may be referred to as elite. At the same time, I think entrepreneurship, I think is another way, somewhere in between. I think we should be able to find really big value and criticality, particularly for the future courses of the Japanese business, the outcome. Well, I do hope that as many people will join us and working on those the interesting ideas, and we were able to share for the past 2 days. I think the students actually, I think we were able to exchange business cards. Usually, young people actually will be the first in making a response. I think I need to have really, I need to be young at heart, and I do hope that several years from now, and some of you on the other side will be coming onto the stage something in the near future. Thank you again for your collaboration. Well, Mr. Matsuda, well, I have nothing but feeling grateful because I'm so happy given this opportunity. And I based myself in the Silicon Valley, and actually out of the Silicon Valley, I am making a big discoveries. I think 30%, 40% of the attendees and of the event actually have been the entrepreneurs and all the directors according to the profile. But I think I am trying to meet with management people, at least 2 or 3 managers every day. Actually, the American management actually are quite friendly to the employees, rank and file employees. Well, you may have the wrong the perception that they are quite quick in letting people go. However, as Ansan mentioned, this probably our position there is wrong. When the company was quite, of course, the president has a lot of stocks. What's going to happen to rank and file employees? I think that is going to be the most important question we have to look at. And actually, I asked exactly the same question. Then she said the following. Actually, all the employees are given stock options. And actually, it is those employees who are going to be quite thrilled and happy when the company was acquired. And when I decided to actually distribute stock options to all the employees, and that's when I did. So your relationship with the employees, I think, would be the biggest different point between Japan and the USA. Again, I'm quite grateful for the opportunity given to me for the past 2 days. I'm looking forward to the excellent the event next year. I'd like to be brief in making my wrap up. I'm so grateful and having so many people. 3,200 people came to the event. I'm so happy given this stats. I think we're successful. Of course, we are not going to aim at a profit we can make out of these the events. We are having so many participants from the Silicon Valley. They are actually paying for their trip, and after they own the trip, we are not giving any money away to them to come to Japan. And I think there is all the people in saying that they are hoping that there will be a lot more on the improvements as time goes on here in Japan, and also they would like to see a lot more active entrepreneurship and to take place in Japan. I think that's the kind of things that we have sensed. And also we have lots of people working behind the curtain, behind the scene. There are so many volunteers actually helped us. If I'd like to ask you to give them a big round of applause to show our appreciation. Thank you. So we have to actually further improve our future events. But as far as I'm concerned, of course, entrepreneurs need to have the business vision, but also there ought to be the social vision, and be it the shared economy, and be it in houses, or be it in IPS. I think every one of them is entrepreneurship. In other words, I think we are here to make our contributions to the society at large. We like to improve the conditions in the society. I think that is one of the important intentions. Of course, making money is going to be quite important, but beyond that, social vision and also the returning what we are able to get to the society is going to be more important. And the participants in this year, actually, we had a lot more than the women, and compared with the last year, a lot more. I'm so happy. And also the speakers. So we had lots of diversities, and also the speakers, I think, gave us lots of positive messages. Well, this marks the 3rd year. I think for the in its 3 years in history, and I think 2015 an event was probably the best, if I may say so. Thanks to the participation from your side, and also thanks to the efforts and all the people concerned and made. Well, we move into the 2016, and truly looking forward to having you. Looking forward to our reunion in 2016, the NES. With this, we'd like to close off the entire program. Thank you.